Hey, I am really fucking tired. Guess who hasn't slept? Because what is sleep with this sometimes? Sometimes my brain's just on a roll processing shit, and I don't feel like I want to. I want to go with the flow of it, you know. So if I feel like we're having a productive night, concepts are loading in well, I'm feeling like I'm gaining clearer understanding, I'm processing and integrating information. I know that we need a set amount of sleep, and I'm not gonna lie, I feel better when I've had it. But and I don't want to throw off my groove if I feel like we've got a good flow going. I want to continue to be adaptive, like follow my brain. I man, our what is it like week? Bit more, but our period of time since the last vlog has been oh wildly productive. To be honest, as it has been for a while now, I'm really fucking tired, and I think I'm understanding better how my subsystem works and how we govern it, like in a way that so far seems to serve all parts of me quite well. And oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a frankly overwhelming amount of work that takes a while to get used to, which is okay. And also totally fucking unfair and bullshit. I could just end the video here and it would be accurate. So tired. Oh my god. There's a lot of things that I want to talk about. I, at the minute, don't really plan these. I just think about whatever information has helped us lately, or I get inspired to talk about something that has helped us lately, and I'm like, oh, this would have been good to know at first. Ah, we could use this. Uh, plus, this might be useful for us to look back on. Plus, this might be useful to record. You know, it's all like very ad hoc. I don't really plan. I also have not planned this one. I notice I'm having thoughts of concerns that I might be apologizing for myself or like making excuses for myself. I'm gonna think about that for a second. might be too tired to add the camera recording trigger. I'm really tired. But I want to reassure all parts of me that I don't think I need to apologize for us. I think we're doing really fucking incredible work all the time. What was the other one? I understand that it was once protective for us to get everything right and to want to do things perfectly. Um, and that can include not showing any dissociative symptoms, which, if you have a dissociative disorder, it's like it's not the world's most attainable standard. I think that my expectations for us and my bar can stand to be relaxed a little bit. And also, I strongly believe in normalizing. Yes, I believe what we're saying is relevant, has value. Symptoms of dissociative disorders. Any mental health issue, actually. I think we live in a society where there's kind of this veil of feigned perfection around everyone and everything. I know that it's probably a little bit human nature to want to look okay when we're not. I think the society can contribute to that in places badly. I think it's fucked in places. And I think that a lot of my work in the host line was to make us look normal, like one person, and like we don't have any symptoms of trauma. And I understand that that's going to be a really difficult symptom to unpack. Symptom, defensive process. I guess it is a symptom. That's kind of funny. And I think it's worthwhile that we do the work for that, for us and for the sort of world I'd like to live in, that I hope future generations are lucky enough to have. And I want to do whatever part I can to shape it. And that means if I'm struggling, I want it to be visible. I want it to be okay that it's visible. I don't want it to have to be hidden. I don't have to pretend that everything's alright. And if I'm dissociating, I'm a bit slow with my words or I trip over my sentences, I want that to be okay. And I want to have the emotional resilience and the self-confidence for it to not impact me negatively. I don't want it to feel triggering to me or harmful to any part of me. And I want to live in a world where people are free of judgment from such things. Sorry, the camera is a bit scary, isn't it? Do you know, oh man, of course the camera's a bit fucking scary. I wish I had like a whole week of. Can I promise we won't. Yeah, we do feel fear. Speaking in front of a camera and to a camera is scary, and the more ages of us load into this fusion, the we just it's okay that parts of us get used to it, and then a new part joins in, and we get used to it all over again. It's okay that we have this rhythm. It's okay that trauma doesn't heal overnight. It's not fucking okay that we're suffering. It's more than okay how we're dealing with it. We're not doing anything wrong. That's just the .exe that runs sometimes. The I am doing everything wrong .exe. Feel guilt all the time for no reason .exe. Guilt was weaponized. Not because we have something to feel guilty about. Not because we have done something wrong. We are innocent of having done anything wrong. Very, very, very tired. Beyond tired. Man. I feel like there are some days where I feel waves of uncertainty in myself and in what I'm saying. Um, and if I have a wave of like uncertainty in myself or fear that what I'm saying is irrelevant, doesn't make sense, um, is crazy, then it's like the part of me who was sharing that thought totally withdraws and I lose what I was saying, and then that can trigger this other process of like, I guess it can perpetuate it and make it more intense, and because it can feel like, see proof, evidence that I don't know what I'm talking about. And actually, I've found that what helps work through that best is just like grounding to the body, to the room, to the present, to myself, breathing, making sure that my brain's got enough oxygen in it and that my nervous system is in the right state, and then I can do the work. Because the thing is, it's like I understand that it, like, we read a lot at first saying gotta learn to ground, grounding's important, and I was like, cool, okay, everyone says enough people have said grounding's important, we'll learn to ground. I feel like a deeper explanation would be grounding's vital to be able to be in a state where we can process the trauma and understand what's going on and do the work that will aid us in healing. Grounding is like the basic state that I feel we need to be in for healing to occur, for us to process trauma and integrate information and memories and experiences rather than be re traumatized by being too far gone into dissociation or into flashbacks. I don't feel that being grounded is. I mean, it's a massive thing. It's vital so that we can do the work. It's not like I ground and everything fixes, but it's like I ground and I'm able to be present to work out what else I need to do to help us and support us at the time. Otherwise, I'm not able to access the parts of my brain that will allow for healing to take place, will allow for emotional regulation to occur and integration of information to occur and all of this, you know. Oh, I'm basically trying to make being grounded my default state. It is a bit scary that we're all over the place. I feel that. Well, because we've experienced a ton of bullshit from people who want us to be impossibly succinct with deep, complex, nuanced topics. Just a bit of an unattainable standard, really. And again, not something we have to worry about. I'd rather be authentically all over the place and experience and process my emotions about that than pretend to be in a state I'm not in and not acknowledge the underlying anxiety or where it comes from. We're not doing anything wrong. The camera is scary, and the camera's a massive trigger for us. We have several very different experiences that make cameras a trigger. And yes, we've just recently, in this last week, had a lot of work and a lot of realizations around photos and cameras. So it's on our mind more at the minute. Maybe spaces us out a bit more when it comes on. It's okay that we don't look normal. Normal is relative. I don't think normal exists. We've never looked normal. And that too. I'm noticing a lot of thoughts flow sort of through my mind. Things that we've been dealing with, things that are coming up. Like we are pursuing a diagnosis, and were booked into NHS mental health service. We got an appointment. I really hope over Zoom or over the phone because traveling, oh my god, traveling would be an extensive use of our resources. We would need a lot of recovery time afterwards. And we would be capable of doing it. I don't doubt our capabilities. I also acknowledge what it would cost us to do it, and I would rather that it was over the phone. I gotta check. I don't really know until the 9th. But on the 9th, we have this assessment. I don't really imagine that the first assessment will be like, okay, here, you're diagnosed, or anything like that. We're just going to take it as it comes and speak to whoever we speak to. So far, I've been really impressed actually with the knowledge of all the what so far seems to be the knowledge of and the comfort with talking to systems from this service. I was not expecting it. There's still very many parts of me that are afraid of their information being behind the times, or of us having to explain the disorder to people that have outdated information on the disorder, or being fake claimed, which is funny because like we've thought about like massive trauma with that, so like a bit zoned out thinking about it, but grounding again. I like to ground through our senses and our breathing. Breathing, oh my god, deep, deep breathing into my belly. Seriously underestimated how much I would be using that. Really helpful. Like looking at the textures and qualities of about 5 items. Doing the same with 4 items I can hear, and 3 items I can touch, and 2 items I can smell, and 1 item I can taste. A lot slower, but basically just to evoke enough senses to make me feel present and grounded to the body. And the fact that I'm thinking about what is to come and what has been happening um, lets me know that I am feeling a pull towards either side of the timeline, which is making it difficult to be present, which is okay, not inherently something we're doing wrong. I want to make being present and grounded and mindful my default state. My theory is that if I keep doing it, like, I probably go through. I've started. It started that we did grounding exercises 3 times a day, and as part of the items we'd touch, we'd remove this ring and like look at it. I do fucking love this ring, and like feel it, and then we'd put it back on, and because that preceded the rest of the grounding techniques and was always involved, we can now use it as a cue to like sort of trigger grounding. So that's really cool. If I'm really zoning out, I can just like pop it off and on again, and it zones me back in enough to do a bit more work to get myself more present. So I have a theory that if I just ground, every time I notice I'm not grounded, basically, eventually it will become my default state. And I think I think this might be like a continued. This might be a continual thing throughout life. I'm starting to suspect. And also, I was starting to see that there are some serious benefits to doing this, and I think I might be right. about it becoming more of a default state, because I found earlier today that I was very present in what I would usually consider like mundane tasks. Like if I was taking my jacket off or sweeping the floor or something, I would be like rushing around like a fucking mosquito, just like nude, must do this, must do like dopamine farm, must do next task. But I'd always be thinking about what I wanted to do in a few minutes, what I was going to do, why I was like, I wouldn't really be very in what I was doing. And earlier, the floor was very close as I swept it, and my jacket, I could really feel the shape of my body as I took it off, and how the weight lifted from my shoulders, and like the feel of the leather as I hung it on the hook. Everything felt very proper and like real, and so did I. And again, with the having a bit of a self image and knowing kind of what I look like, starting to like feel my facial muscles move when they move, which is not something that I've ever felt before. Feeling my emotions in my body. A lot of the time, I have just like sort of breathless, gasping, airless pain in my chest. It kind of just sits there and I kind of just sit with it. I suspect that eventually maybe it will digest and change. So I just sort of breathe into it and feel how the sensation feels in my body and allow it to be there. Um, like sometimes it's like a squeezing pressure in my chest. So I can breathe in and almost feel it squeezing me more. I'll go into the sensation as it does it. Um, and I kind of feel more present and more existent here too, with my emotions, with the sensations in my body. Obviously, every time I get triggered, I like float out of my body like a ghost. I can poltergeist around for a bit before I ground. So it's not like this is my standard yet, but I think it could be. I recall a tangent. It's funny, I get back to, as long as I'm relaxed and confident in myself and I don't go, oh no, when I've lost my train of thought, they come back. They're in there. Um, so I noticed that it's funny, ironically, throw myself in my train of thought, but it'll be back. I wanted to try and keep this to half an hour. Oh, I am very tired. Perhaps it'll be back in the next one. I'm so proud of us. I'm so proud of you. Got younger parts that are so triggered by cameras. I can feel like I can feel just those parts of me just seem to exist in my chest. I feel like a big telescopic slinky that goes all the way back in. Like I, the host, ground as the outer layer, and they sit with intense emotions, more intense than I ever knew they could exist. and pass me fears and concerns and needs that I can hear and feel and validate, and then meet the needs of. It's a really good system. It's really fucking challenging. There's like a lot of plates spinning, and it's consistent. I don't think a minute goes by where I'm not doing something to the effect of either grounding from dissociation and flashbacks, reassuring and validating our emotions, addressing our concerns, listening in and feeling what we're feeling and meeting needs. I'm not complaining at all. We're worth every single second. Every single second. Without a doubt. And I'm exhausted because the trauma we've sustained has made this consistent minute by minute work 24/7. I suppose it would be like rewiring pathways in our brain and reshaping our nervous system. I feel like that's probably what we're doing. I'm very tired. I'm very impressed with this, and I'm very tired. Let me actually get some sleep. I'm definitely gonna get some food. Alright, take care, folks. Definitely gonna see you in the next one. Look at this square, this bit of hair. Oh, it's getting so long. I really like it. It's like, oh, almost, almost. Oh my god, it actually looks like long hair length. Holy shit. I'm really fucking grateful to everyone in this system for like supporting me to grow it out. I know it's not everyone's favorite. Oh, I'm very grateful for that. I'm totally willing to cut it if someone starts suffering.